Yeah, pretty positive that's just a milk dud.
Really?
Yeah, pretty positive. Not 100%, but pretty positive.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to Horror on Air.
Where we talk all things horror.
On the air.
Cue the intro.
I just want to say thanks for taking a look. It takes a real pal.
Not a problem. I just wanted to wash my eyes with bleach.
I got some Brillo pads in there. You can borrow. Hi. Welcome to Horror on Air, episode 1. If you don't know what you're in for yet, you must be a fucking idiot because we just gave you the whole shebang.
It's like a raw meat donut.
I'm Al, and this is my heterosexual life mate, Henry.
Hi, guys.
And we're a couple of idiots that love horror movies and horror games, horror stories, and all things fucking horror. What would you say? Yeah?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Awesome.
And we hope to share a lot of that stupid, unwanted knowledge with the likes of you guys. So thanks for tuning in.
And love. We want to share love.
Not so much love. Blood, guts,
Fuck you,
spit, and ass.
I hope next time you take a shit, your balls rot off in the toilet. You son of a bitch. Okay, sorry. Okay.
It looks like yours already fucking did.
Well, again, thanks for looking.
What makes a horror movie a horror movie? So, if you really want to get down to technicalities on everything, the Encyclopedia Britannica, what's the word I'm looking for?
Defines,
thank you. A film that incorporates incidents of physical violence and or psychological terror. I agree with that, but there's a lot more to add on than just that.
What do you think makes a horror movie?
Suspense and anxiety driven anything. I get a lot of skepticism of that because I include a lot of things in horror that a lot of people don't. It's because of the suspense, uncomfortability, anxiety-driven emotions that you get from watching a film.
Okay.
To me, is what horror is. You know, there's a lot of horror movies that I don't really classify as horror movies because it doesn't really do that.
Okay. Fair enough. I feel like I'm pretty close with you on this.
All right.
I feel like horror is simply meant to instill fear. Meaning, there's a lot of movies that some people might not say are horror movies, but
I mean, as a child, I was scared of Land Before Time when the sharp tooth came up and killed Littlefoot's mom.
Well,
does that make
that's
it?
horror if I've ever fucking heard. Are you shitting me? Really? Honestly, you know, the most terrified I've ever fucking been was of Robert Stack and the fucking theme music to Unsolved Mysteries.
True. I thought you were going to say Ernest Scared Stupid.
Well,
it's a great animatronic troll.
It was. And the Killer Clowns from Outer Space cameo on that.
Yes.
Not actually, like, it's not like the Chiodo brothers or anything showed up in there, but the actual fucking clowns were the other trolls. It's fucking great.
Yes,
go back and watch it. Go back and watch it if you don't. If you don't believe me, fuck off. Go watch it. what is necessary aside? So you said suspense, anxiety. What is necessary? Would you say blood is necessary in a horror movie?
Absolutely not, because some of the better movies, well, not all, but some of the better horror movies have next to no, if any. Like if you take a look at Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, you have the brief screen captures of the twins at the end of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
A
lot of blood there.
But and very minute snippets the entire way. If you look at 99% of that movie, it is suspense-driven insanity. Weird child riding a tricycle around a hotel with a talking finger.
Danny's the scariest fucking thing in that movie.
Right.
I love that movie. Don't hate on me, but that kid's terrifying.
Right, but
Mrs. Torrance, I shit my pants again.
Sorry, go ahead.
But that overall movie, I mean, there's a 0.5% of that movie has blood in it. If you look at...
How about the blood river coming out of the elevator and going down the hallway? Moving furniture. That's a lot of blood, Henry.
But it was a very quick scene. All right, well, how about...
that was slow motion. Like, yeah. All
right, well, how about then look at The Exorcist.
Yeah.
By definition, the most terrifying movie, in horror movies.
Yeah. It scared the shit out of me.
Scared the shit out of me. I didn't eat pea soup for fucking years after that shit.
Yeah, I was way too young when I saw that movie.
I was 10 when I first watched The Exorcist, and I didn't even understand it then. I just knew it was absolutely fucking terrifying.
Right. But you're right. There's almost no blood.
And even in...
aside from the... all that shit.
But even then, there's... other movies like the movie Christine. Mm-hmm. There is next to no blood in Christine, but in its time, in 1983, that was a legitimately scary movie. Do you have to have a set-in-stone killer for it to be a horror movie?
No, I don't think so.
Right?
No, you could have a whole team of people killing people. Doesn't have to be one specific one.
Does it have to be a killer at all? Does there have to be a killer in general for it to be a horror movie?
No, I just think that's the easiest way to... There has to be something at stake.
Okay.
It has to be life-threatening, like whether it be to you or a loved one or somebody you care about, which is the whole point of making characters in the movie relatable.
Okay.
But it has to be something at stake. So it doesn't have to be necessarily a killer. That's just the easiest way, and I think that's the way they mostly go with it.
That was right there. It was something else that I had jotted down was relatable traumas, which was being that child moving into a new house or going to summer camp for the first time or having that first sleepover with a friend in a house you've never slept over before.
And shitting your pants and not having fresh underwear to put on.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was kind of specific. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. That always touches a soft spot with people because everybody has had one of those uncomfortable firsts.
Right.
I was uncomfortable the first time that I went to a friend's house to spend the night because it was the first night I'd ever spent the night in a house that wasn't mine, or the first time, you leave to go to summer camp for a week and now mom and dad isn't there. Yeah. Everybody has that.
I agree. So that'll put you, you can relate to that character and it'll put you in the atmosphere, which is something that a horror movie requires, is atmosphere. That I wholeheartedly
100%.
If it doesn't have the atmosphere, you lost me from Jump Street. I'll still watch it. I'll watch some horrible shit, and still get entertained by it.
The Void.
But I will absolutely tell you that it is a shit movie, and then watch it again next week.
And 100, and every once in a while you have the atmosphere Like you take Candyman out of Chicago and you put it in, Frying Pan, North Carolina, which is a real city.
Really?
Does it work? Yeah.
Is there good food?
No, it's a shithole.
How the fuck would you call it Frying Pan then?
But
That dashes all kinds of hoops.
but does it still work? I don't think it does. In the movie Candyman, Chicago is
Cabrini Green is like specific. Like you can't move too far away from that. I don't think that was a terrifying fucking place.
Exactly. The first time that I saw that movie, and the first time that specific building popped up into frame, it was like bad shit's fucking happening. Which again is why I go back to your environment plays just as an important role as your main protagonist, your main antagonist.
Yep.
Everything else.
I agree with that.
Is there anything else you wanted to hit on as far as what makes a horror movie a horror movie?
No, I think we have a good grasp. I would hope if they're watching, they have a good grasp, at least their own grasp. They don't have to agree with us.
No, absolutely not. We could be full of shit.
Always. But so let's talk about the horror movies. Subgenres.
Subgenres. All right. I love it.
Let me throw this out there. Originally, because we talked a little bit.
We did.
Originally, I had 5 main subgenres.
Right.
There's a fucking 200 subgenres of horror.
I did the research on it, and I found 48 different subgenres. About 35 of them contradict each other.
Right. They can be so the 6 start out the 5 that I had down was monster movies.
Yes.
Which includes creature features, just so we're clear. Paranormal.
Yes.
Slashers.
Yes.
Psychological. And horror comedies.
Okay, yes. But now, do we dive even further and include found footage?
Technically, the found footage, it's
its own thing.
It's its own type of movie, but if you look like, okay, so Blair Witch Project.
Right.
It's not the first found footage, but is the first one to really make a splash.
First huge mainstream.
Yeah. Right. So what was the thing they were scared of?
A witch.
Okay. Would that be monster movie or paranormal? Because it's one of those. See what I mean? Like in some way, shape, or form, it's going to fit under these.
In all ways, shape, or form, you can say it's fucking scary, and that just makes it a scary movie.
Well, yeah, but are you saying I'm wrong?
All right,
because we'll find it out right now.
What about possession movies? Are possession movies paranormal movies? Because I believe they're not. They are two totally different things.
I agree with you.
Poltergeist and The Exorcist are fucking different.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, there's another subgenre then, possession.
Right.
Look at that.
So we have 6 then.
What about gore movies? Your Hostels, your Cannibal Holocaust.
I think all that can fall under
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sci-fi.
Sci-fi horror?
Yeah, sci-fi horror. That's its own thing. Alien.
Monster movies.
Lord have mercy.
It's monsters.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Are you telling me the xenomorph in Alien?
I mean,
was that a monster?
It's a fucking monster.
It's a monster.
All right. Suspense. What about it? Just a suspense movie?
That could, depending on what it is, it could be psychological, right? Could be a slasher, but no slashers happen.
You're a fucking prune. You know that? A prune. Vampire movies.
That monster movie.
Folk or horror movies.
Depending on what it is, that could be monster, slasher, paranormal.
All right. Well, how about this then? How about...
Welcome back to WPKV Action News 13. I'm Craig Berghoff.
And I'm Charles Schwanson.
Swanson?
Schwanson.
Swanson.
Like a Schwan? Schwanson.
Like a swan?
Schwan?
Swanson.
Samsonite. I was way off.
Learn something new every day, folks. So what do we have in entertainment news, Mr. Swanson?
The first thing we have is the upcoming Scream 6, or as some people like to call it, Scream VI.
Go on.
Don't know why, but I've heard it from the street.
Anything else on Scream VI?
Scream 6.
Yes.
Okay. Scream 6's release date is March 10th of this year, 2023. It is directed by Tyler Gillette and Matt Bettinelli-Olpin. Can't wait.
I can't wait to hear you say that last name again. Also, Final Destination 6. Is it a reboot? Or are they?
Nope, it is a brand new movie to fall in line with the rest of the 5 previous.
Wow.
Supposedly on a cruise ship.
Really running out of ideas here, Hollywood. But I'll go see it.
I would too. Because it premieres on HBO Max.
Oh.
Straight to streaming.
Even better. I can sit right at home and watch it.
Naked.
Guaranteed.
Also, a movie that I'm actually really looking forward to, and that is Megan, or M3 Jan. That's how they spell it.
I'm pretty sure it's just Megan.
3's not a letter.
That's true.
January 6th, so according to my watch, it is 4 days from now. At least the filming of this news segment.
Which you're not going to see for at least a month. In celebrity news, Freddy Krueger was arrested on Monday for apparently sending a dick pic. Turns out charges were dropped when they discovered that it was just him sending a picture of a burned hot dog that he burned on the grill. You know, actually looks like quite the tasty wiener.
You know, I never turned down a good meat stick.
I could go for one right now. Yeah, so we discussed this. We're not going to give what we think is the best because that's totally subjective to the viewer, the audience. You watching that stuff, you got your own idea what the best is. Henry, because this was his idea. I didn't even think of this. Decided to go to Rolling Stone and to Rotten Tomatoes and find what they said was the top 5 best horror movies ever.
And I agree with a lot of things that are up here, but I want to debate this with you because I feel like some things need to be bumped and some things need to be added, and I'm sure you will too.
We usually, despite that little bullshit, we agree with on a lot of shit.
So we will start with Rolling Stone. Everybody knows Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Keith Richards, great band.
Right.
Hasn't fucking died yet.
I believe they're talking about Rolling Stone magazine. It's not the band.
It was a website though.
But the band didn't put their top.
That's misleading.
A little bit. All
right. So, according to Rolling Stone, okay, we have at number 5, and I'll just give you the top 5. Okay, because the list was like 150. I'm not going through all that.
Top 5's good.
Top 5. You have John Carpenter's Halloween 1978. Does it deserve 5? Does it deserve up or down?
It definitely deserves to be in that top 5. But without hearing the other ones, I can't say whether it needs to go above or below.
All right. Well, number 4 to me is a little controversy. Okay, because I've seen it. It's a good movie. I don't know if it's a top 5 movie. Number 4 is Don't Look Now, 1973.
What's that about? I think we found one that I haven't seen. Don't Look Now?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. So, fuck that bullshit.
You might have seen it. We'll just edit this part out.
Donald Sutherland. No, I've never
You've never
fucking
seen
it.
this?
No.
It's a good movie. It's an offbeat movie that doesn't get much credit. You know, I rank it up there with, you know, like a Rosemary's Baby.
Okay.
You know, kind of movie. I mean, not comparing the two like they're the same kind of movie.
Right.
Just as far as, you know, Rosemary Baby is a great movie. You know, it's a great older movie for its time that still holds up
Right.
to today.
And that does
And this does the same thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take your word on whether that belongs in the top 5.
I don't think it belongs in the top 5.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
It's a great movie. It's not top 5 worthy.
I was showing cleavage.
Oh, fuck yeah. I have a boner.
We got to get fucking viewers somehow. We're dumb as shit.
Number 3 is The Ring from 1998. That's above Halloween.
No. I disagree.
According to this list, it is.
I do love The Ring. I think it's great. I would not put The Ring in my top 5.
Okay, stop cheating.
Oh.
Number 2, Psycho, 1960.
This is another one that I love. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah?
It is
One of my favorites also.
what birthed, in my opinion, the slasher genre. Because of that movie is what led to things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween and stuff being able to be made and accepted.
Psycho kickstarted the entire modernized horror movie.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have gotten away from them, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman,
we haven't gotten
Blob.
away from it because I still have those two.
But that was your first, psychological, slasher. Holy shit, this may actually happen in real life.
Right.
Kind of movie.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. And number 1, 1973 is The Exorcist. That is Rolling Stone's number one horror. And it's kind of hard to argue with that because
it is.
The Exorcist is an absolutely terrifying movie, and it is definitely held up.
It is a fantastic movie.
Right.
I think it's definitely going to be in my top 5 best.
100%. Now, with that being said, Rotten Tomatoes is completely different.
No shit.
Yep. This is Rotten Tomatoes score from Rotten Tomatoes website.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if I trust them anymore after discovering what I've discovered.
I don't trust a lot of stuff from them.
So number 5 is the 1979 movie Alien.
I fucking love the Alien franchise. I think Alien is absolutely one of the best sci-fi horror movies out there.
Hang on, I thought sci-fi movies were monster movies.
It is.
Then why is it a sci-fi movie?
I can call it sci-fi horror and it still be...
Sci-fi doesn't exist because it's a fucking monster movie.
I'm going to choke you with one of my socks.
Bring it.
I'm down. So yeah, I love that movie. Top 5 best. As much as I love it, okay. I don't agree with that.
Okay, you're not going to agree with the rest of this list then.
Guaranteed. If that's the way.
Number 4, Jordan Peele's second edition, Us, 2019.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen it.
Okay.
But I like a lot of Jordan Peele stuff. I think he's really good.
But is it number 4 all time?
No, absolutely not. Well, I haven't seen it, but no, I don't think it would be. I can think of so many other movies that should be up there that
and
I need to see it. I don't hate.
So
I need to see
number 3, we're going way back in time to 1919 and doing The Cabinet of Dr.
Caligari.
Yes. As the number 3 all-time greatest horror movie because they are referring to it as it is the Kickstarter of horror.
No. How is that the Kickstarter of horror?
I'm just the fucking messenger
House
boy.
of the Devil or what the fuck? Like that was when that was like 18 something another.
1897, 1896.
That was horror.
Like
it was 30 seconds long, but it was fucking horror, right? It was longer than 30 seconds, but not much. But there's other movies that
right. All right. Well, we'll go on.
I'm not hating.
We'll go on to number 2, and number 2 is Get Out by Jordan Peele from 2017. Is the number 2 greatest horror movie of all time.
Rotten Tomatoes, you're choking on
Tomatoes.
choking on some Jordan Peele chode there. Like that. Get Out's great. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. Great story, great acting, very well made. Number 2, top 5, much less number 2. Fuck no.
All
Sorry,
right.
that's just my opinion.
And number 1, they have the 1960 movie Psycho.
Psycho belongs in there. I'm not saying number 1. The same thing as like The Exorcist. Like, I have to put serious fucking thought in my top 5 best, but Psycho belongs in the top 5 because it was one of the ones that changed the face of horror. So, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Welcome to Killer Beehive Movie Rentals. How can I help you? You want Birds by Alfred Hitchcock?
Sweet movie. Not here, bro.
Not bad, but we specialize in B movies. So let me think. Oh, hang on. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. There's tomatoes, and they kill people. What more do you need? All right.
How about like Schwarzenegger in there? Like he'd make ketchup, bro. Yeah.
Are you breathing?
Nope.
Bunch of little red-seeded fruit just running around, fucking shit up. Basically, you can't run, you can't swim, you can't go anywhere because there's radioactive giant mutant tomatoes just terrorizing the earth. Okay? Take it from me, take it home, give it a shot.
Gomez Adams is in it too, man.
I hate my job. This is our personal favorites, no judgment, no anything.
Well, you can judge us all you want. We don't give a shit. But
true.
But so that's why I was saying, we wanted to show, these websites, that people seem to put a lot of faith in what they said the best was. We're not going to say what we think the best is because everybody has a different idea of that. We will say what our favorites are.
Right. So number 10 for me is 1983 Christine.
Great movie.
Okay.
I love that movie.
I am a huge Stephen King fan.
Right.
And I'm also a huge car guy. Specifically, I'm a Chrysler product fan.
Right.
And the main protagonist or antagonist in that movie is a 57 Plymouth. It is my dream car. I will sacrifice both of my testicles to be able to have that car.
The one you have left.
In any shade of color. Doesn't even have to be red. Like, I want a 57 Plymouth bad. And because of that, that is why Christine is my top 10, or my number 10.
So my number 10, you did a Stephen King one, and I kind of did a Stephen King one. Creepshow.
Creepshow. Oh, that's a good one.
I fucking love Creepshow.
I love Creepshow too. God, it's been forever since I've seen it. I'm gonna have to go back home and watch it.
I love Creepshow. I love Creepshow 2. I love the fucking show on Shudder of Creepshow. Like, fantastic. Yeah. The little kid, which is, that's Owen King. That's Stephen King's son.
Yes.
I thought that was fucking cool how they had
Stephen King should go back to using cocaine because everything that he did while he was on cocaine.
Stephen, we love you regardless.
I'm a Red Sox fan with you, Stephen.
The lack of cocaine use.
Go back to blow.
Don't do drugs, kids. But yeah, Creepshow. Like, I mean, what else is there to say? Like, even the fucking like the roaches eating the guy and shit. Like, fucking great.
It is only my number 9 because it was the first horror movie that I ever watched in my life. I was like 7 years old, and my dad let me watch Phantasm. Phantasm was my introductory.
And you were how old?
Like 7.
The first 5 minutes of that movie fucked you up, didn't it?
So did.
This explains
I
so
was
much.
like, man, there's tits. And all of a sudden it's like, why is there an old guy? And it was but yeah, I was 7 years old. My dad let me watch Phantasm of all movies. And
that's parenting at its best. I love it.
I do too.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but 1979's Phantasm is my number 9.
But every time somebody goes, boy, you get fucking flashbacks from hell, don't you? Jesus. My number 9, Friday the 13th. 1980, the original.
Wow, that's all the way up at number 9 for you?
Yeah. You'll understand as I go. You'll understand as I go.
I'll take you.
I love the original. There's one specific part of this movie that really brings it home. When I was a kid, USA Network, every Friday the 13th that came along, played every last Jason movie. Excuse me, every Friday the 13th, because obviously the first one was
more Mother, yeah.
Right. But that movie...
I think you can still say Jason movie, because he kind of made his grand entrance right there at the end.
Yeah, he did. That scene is the first time I remember shitting my pants after I'm supposed to be too old to do that. The original Friday the 13th, fantastic fucking movie in my opinion.
Probably not nearly in your top 50, but in my top 10 at number 8 is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I knew it. I am a sucker for extremely shitty B movies. All of them. There is not the first B movie out there that I will not watch. They are all fantastic in their own ways. And the fact that Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is also kind of a parody movie,
right?
You know, along with being just a horror comedy movie, makes it absolutely just a bundle of joy to watch. If you are ever depressed, watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
And it'll push you right over the edge.
If anything, you will feel better about yourself at the end of watching that movie.
Absolutely.
And I love it for it.
I knew that shit was coming. And I love you for it.
I'm surprised it's not higher up on my list.
Number 8 for me, Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of all the Evil Deads.
Yep, Bruce Campbell's the man.
Everything to do with Evil Dead. Even like what was it, 2014, 2013, 2014 when the remake?
Yes.
Or the reboot, whatever the hell you want to call it.
14, reboot, whatever.
Fucking great. And Bruce Campbell wasn't even in it. And I almost, before then, I would have said, well, if he's not going to be fucking in, what's the point?
Right. But
no, they carried that movie. It was great. But Evil Dead 2, when he really came into his own with that character and the fucking pure craziness, cocaine fueled. There was drugs involved in that movie, and I love every bit of it.
100%.
But yeah, that was a great one. So that's my number 8.
All right, so number 7, I'm throwing it way back. It is one of my favorite monsters in any monster movie ever, and that is the 1954 Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I knew it. I was trying to mouth it just perfect.
I almost get a weird boner every time I watch that movie.
That's disturbing to hear.
I mean, don't get me wrong, all the other Universal movie monsters are fantastic in their own ways. You know, the Wolfman, really up until American Werewolf in London, the Wolfman had like the best transformation scene.
Oh yeah. I still enjoy it.
I do too.
For its time, it is amazing.
Exactly. You know, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, Dracula, they're all good. But fucking Creature from the Black Lagoon just blows everything else out of the lagoon.
I agree. My number 7 is another Friday the 13th movie. And this one, there's going to be some people...
I swear to God, if it's Jason Goes to Space, I'm fucking leaving.
No, it's not. No. However, Cyborg Jason would kick the shit out of all the other Jasons.
No.
Kane Hodder said so.
No.
He said so. And that was fucking Jason.
For only half the movies.
You watching Kane? Comment below.
He's not watching this shit.
One day, he's going to go back and revisit the whole catalog. And he's gonna call us up and be like, "Hey guys, I saw your first episode finally." Actually, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Okay, that's a good one. That is a very good one. That's one of my favorite Jason movies.
This was, again, when I was a kid and all those movies came on. There was something about that movie, it being set in New York of all fucking places.
Right.
Like this was like you would think. You take Jason away from Camp Crystal Lake, like you can't do that. That would be part of the atmosphere thing, like you were getting at earlier.
Right.
No, a fucking that
it
grungy, toxic way. Who the fuck? Did you know every night at midnight toxic waste flows through the fucking sewer system in New York? I sure as fuck didn't.
It doesn't surprise me because the Yankees come from there.
True. Fucking everything about that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's why I watched all the 7 leading up to that.
Yes.
Because at the time that was the last one.
Yeah.
So Jason Goes to Hell hadn't even come out yet. So yeah, great movie.
Going on to number 6. This is where it started to get really tough for me to start putting them in like order and everything, and I can probably interchange everything from here on out.
Oh, my list can change tomorrow.
Probably, yes. But 1968, Night of the Living Dead. Great movie. It's your first kind of modern day zombie movie.
Right.
It was only filmed in black and white because it was cheaper to do it that way. It's not that old of a fucking movie. But just in my personal opinion, everything about that movie was great. Keep in mind that movie was made in 1968. Yeah, and they had an African-American protagonist in that movie, which was, for that time frame, extremely controversial.
Oh, yeah.
And then you kind of offed them for no reason right at the very end.
Well, that was
I understand. I mean, it fits everything perfectly, but it was a very controversial movie to make in its day.
Right.
And even you taking that aspect out of that movie, just an overall phenomenal movie. And I think having it in black and white makes it that much better.
My number 6, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking wow.
Yeah.
Ew.
I catch hate for this one. Here's the thing, though.
It's a good movie.
It is. And the reason it catches like you all know, the reason it catches hate is because they called it Halloween 3. And you see Michael Myers one time in a TV commercial.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it. But if you can't separate this one from the rest of those movies and enjoy it for what it is, you're probably not giving things a chance like you should.
Right. When you separate it and watch that movie independently for its own purpose, it's a good movie.
Right.
And that's what a lot more people need to do in general. Is stop the compare and contrast.
Right.
You know, every time we turn around, there's a reboot of something or a remake of something or a prequel or a sequel to the original. So we're going to act like the other 9 movies never fucking happened.
Right.
You can't, sit there and go, oh, well, Rob Zombie's Halloween didn't follow, how the 1978 Halloween fucking went. Like, who gives a fuck? It's its own goddamn movie.
Right. It's its own story.
Right. That's how you have to go into it. You will enjoy horror movies a lot more if you just start watching them for the purpose of watching that movie and treating it as an independent film.
Right. I agree. I think people get way too caught up in they want to tie everything. They want everything in a neat little bow.
Right.
It's just pretty like that. Nobody gives a shit. Take the story for what it's worth. Enjoy it. Try to allow yourself to be entertained instead of immediately saying, "Oh, well, Michael Myers isn't in that one."
Right.
This movie has Tom Atkins in it.
That's what you went with. Was this movie has Tom Atkins in it?
Name one other male lead who, within 30 minutes of running into whatever female, has slayed that shit.
In a horror movie?
In a horror movie. Can't do it. Tom Atkins, the fucking man.
I mean, if I had time to sit and think about it, I could probably come up with something.
You don't have time. We got to keep moving.
All right, fine. Number 5. 1996 Scream for me. And I will say that specifically for that was the first movie I was 7 when I watched Phantasm, so I was probably 7 or 8 when I watched Scream. And
young.
I was just fucked from the get-go. But it was the first movie that truly terrified me.
Right.
You know, I knew in Phantasm that a chick legitimately couldn't turn into a dirty old man, you know, in the middle of intercourse.
Right.
You know, I knew watching Halloween that it's impossible for somebody to take 5 slugs to the chest like that and just keep on trucking.
6, I believe. I shot him 6 times.
Right. Yeah.
But go ahead. Yeah.
Either way, you get the point. You know, all that was fake. I know in Child's Play that a doll cannot come to fucking life and kill people. Scream could actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made that movie terrifying for me as a child, because it was like, holy shit, like my next door neighbor theoretically could put on a Halloween mask and come murk me and my entire family.
Right.
You know, and
the self-awareness, the fact that they not only like say all the horror movie tropes, this is what happens in a horror movie.
Exactly.
They make it fucking happen in what you perceive to be real world.
Right. And also, it's got Matthew Lillard in it.
Right.
One of the most underrated actors ever.
I agree. even with the Scooby-Doo movies on his
dude, best Shaggy ever.
Best Shaggy ever.
Right, get the fuck out of here, Casey Kasem.
Easy, the guy's dead.
All right, moving on. You're number 5.
My number 5, Devil's Rejects.
Okay. Yep. Rest in peace, Sid.
Yeah. We got a chance to meet Sid Haig a month before he passed away.
Yeah, it was a month.
And like you could tell he wasn't 100%. And he still showed up to all these conventions and stuff all the time.
100%.
And to meet the fans and to sign autographs. Outstanding person. And I wish he was around to be in more. Because I love it. Like, I didn't know who he was until House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get to know that he's been around for fucking ever until Devil's Rejects. I'm like, this guy's awesome.
Right.
And
you fell down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. And
yep, as did I.
Spider Baby. God, if you haven't seen Spider Baby,
fucking
him and Spider Baby's fucking
terrific.
Great. But I mean, ton of stuff, TV and everything. But yes, Devil's Rejects is my number 5. Bill Moseley is like he is like 100%. That is he's in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Chop Top's the best.
Oh yeah.
Otis
and his
next best.
His Otis in House of a Thousand Corpses, like Otis matured a lot between those two movies, and just the character maturing in with the actor. But he's a little more Chop Top in House.
Yeah.
And come Devil's Rejects, like that scene where he's like, you know, go ahead and pray. Tell him to, you know, hit me with lightning, right? Like that scene, he's like, I'm the devil.
He's in it.
And I do the devil's work. I'm here to do the devil's work.
In it.
God, that like that's some of the best shit. And I'm sorry, I'm a fucking hillbilly, whatever you want to call me. But that scene where Freebird's playing at the end in the fucking shootout, like.
My number 4 is one of my all-time favorites. It is Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, 1984.
Great.
I was, like 8 or 9 when I watched that movie, and I was fucking petrified to go to bed as a child after that movie.
Right.
And everything about that movie, it warms the cockles of my heart. Like
your heart has cockles?
I guess. I don't know what this shit's called. I'm not a doctor. But just the little scenes, you know, here and there, the chopping the 2 fingers off and the green liquid just sporadically shooting out of his nubs.
Right.
You know, the arm stretch scene in the alleyway. Tina dying way over the top in the very beginning.
Yes.
Just fuck wall, floor, wall, ceiling, bed, just Jesus Christ.
Yes. And then, like the splash down.
Yes.
Because of all the blood.
So over the top, but I fucking love it.
The body bag scene where she sees Tina in the hallway.
Oh yeah,
the body bag's getting drugged.
Everything about that movie, even the stupid sayings that Rod had in that movie. You know, I woke up this morning with a heart on, had your name wrote all over it. You know, fucking up yours with a twirling lawnmower.
I've used all those lines.
I mean, I have too, and I feel bad about myself every time I do it. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, number 4. Robert Englund's the fucking man, and that's it.
I agree. God bless him. Another one who's really great with fans and everything. He fucking loves his fan base. My number 4. Don't hate on me. Night of the Living Dead remake, 1990.
Oh,
Yep.
Why?
Don't hate on me, dude.
Lord have mercy.
It's practically the same movie. However, you get, first off, Romero was part of it. Right?
All the way up to number fucking 4.
The Night of the Living Dead 1990 remake. Tom Savini, I believe it was his directorial debut. You got Bill Moseley. Chop Top and Otis. They're coming to get you, boy. He's the one that fucking got that line. Fucking Tony Todd.
I forgot he was in that movie.
Fucking Tony Todd as the Ben.
Yeah.
And he did fantastic. That was my introduction to Tony Todd. Was it? Yes. Okay. And I love it. And then Candyman and everything that he did.
Candyman was my introductory. I was like 9.
And playing essentially the personification of death in the Final Destination movie, the first few movies, I think. Maybe all of them. I don't know. I stopped watching after 3, I think. But yeah, so hate me if you want, but the remake of Night of the Living Dead, it's one of my faves.
Going on to number 3. Number 3, I have 1975, Jaws. By far, the best movies that Steven Spielberg ever did.
Blockbuster.
The original blockbuster. Yes. No movie at that time got hyped the way that Jaws did.
Right.
And it got people into that theater to watch it that had no idea what they were actually going to see. And I think the following year, beach traffic tourism just dropped off the face of the fucking earth. And it started my irrational fear of sharks being in the deep end of the fucking swimming pool.
Deep and shallow. I was the fuck out, man. That shit was terrifying. Somebody gave me a yellow raft one time. I threw that bitch directly in the trash. I'm not ended up like that. What was his name? I can't remember.
No, I can't.
We're not gonna have him spill out all over the goddamn pier. Nah, you're not gonna have me spill out either. I'm not taking that raft. But yeah, great movie. I agree.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yours?
We're at 3.
3.
Okay, 3. 2 and 3 are and the production, the production value and everything, and the acting is so much better in one than the other. But both of these, favorite wise, are neck and neck. So you could almost do like this. Right. But I'm gonna put 3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
2, okay. 2. Is that because of Chop Top?
Well, it's because of Chop Top. But
far out.
Caroline Williams, that plays Stretch. Gorgeous. Love her to death. I think she fucking killed that character. It was awesome. At the end, when she's up on top with the fucking chainsaw and doing kind of the same fucking dance and spinning around, that was fucking. And talk about a cold ending. It was just they showed that you don't even know what's happened with Dennis Hopper's character for sure.
Yes.
Lefty, and you don't know what's happened down by the table and everything where the fucking grenade goes off. Nothing. It's just her going, black screen credits. I fucking love it. Dude, that is a heavily drug fueled fever dream if I've ever seen one, and I will watch it.
There was a lot of acid
until the day I
in the writing of that movie. And so my number 2 is kind of stereotypical, and that is 1975, The Exorcist. It's fucking good.
Great movie.
Dude,
we've covered a lot of it already, but yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Just the stair scene alone where Reagan comes down the stairs and the bridge just and then does the whole, just blood scream at the very end. I fucking love it. Everything about that movie scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. If you only knew what Captain Howdy was up to when they first started talking. Wasn't his name Captain Howdy or something crazy shit like
Captain Howdy.
I love that movie, and it still will fuck me up. Watching that movie. My number 2, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay.
And it was. You already know what my number one's going to be.
Oh yeah,
because it's neck and neck with The Thing.
yeah.
For me, but that is by far. And I wasn't introduced to The Thing until like I hadn't seen it at all until maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Don't know how the fuck I missed it.
I
Absolutely loved that movie from Jump Street.
thought I was late to the game. I was like 15 or 16 when I first saw that movie.
I was in my fucking 30s before I saw The Thing.
Wow.
The Thing is better than my number one. As far as, in my opinion, a better movie is The Thing. It's just not my fave.
I mean, I have Attack of the Killer Tomatoes on my number 8. There's
but
doesn't have to be a good movie.
Right. But the practical effects, I know everybody harps on the practical. I'm going to fucking harp on the practical effects. They're great. They're fantastic. To this day, that movie will gross the fucking shit out of somebody.
100%. I love it for it.
And the whole, dude, diabetes. You had Mr. Diabetes in there. He fucking killed it, man. I love it.
Well, that kind of segues great because
I'm ready to come back inside now. I'm supposed to be getting a delivery from Liberty Medical.
Right.
Help me live a better life. But that coffee's cold as shit.
You gotta get you a tumbler, man. This thing, my coffee's still hot. Well, it's empty now, but it was.
But my tumbler doesn't say Camp Crystal Lake on it.
But my number one is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
I knew that was coming.
Yes, everybody that knows me did.
Right.
It's Kurt Russell has the best beard in cinema history.
You're trying to catch up. And
I'm trying to. I don't have the hairline to compete with Kurt Russell.
No, but if you get that fucking stupid hat, you won't need it. And I call it a stupid
the Cousin
hat
Eddie hat
with pure love. I love that fucking hat too. If I could, I want to get one of those because they purposely formed the fucking thing like that. I want to get one and form it like that just so I have a fucking...
Like you said, the transformation, the special effects in that movie were so ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah.
Everything about that movie was great. The only thing I didn't like about that movie was just because I'm a dog fan, was the fucking dog. That was it.
It wasn't a dog anymore.
Before the dog,
You're talking about when they put... Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
It was just
they had to kill the dog.
Right, but it was like, why? Why couldn't it be cats? Nobody likes cats.
Poor little puppies.
But by all means, and I already know what your number one is.
You gonna say it with me?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. Halloween '78. You weren't gonna say that?
No, you look like a jackass. Yeah, we knew it.
Yes, Halloween,
at least I did.
1978. Again,
great movie.
There are a lot of films that are better movies than Halloween.
I put it on my honorable mentions list.
I figured it would be.
Yeah.
Fucking Halloween '78 is a fantastic fucking movie.
See,
and I feel like is the that's the movie that led to Friday the 13th and the slashers of the 80s really growing big and everything. So yeah, John Carpenter killed it with that one.
Well, see, that's why it's one of those movies I would put Halloween 2 before or Part 2 over the original '78 movie, and I think that's largely just because I was introduced to those movies out of chronological order.
Right.
Part 2 was the first movie I watched.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, from Jump Street, it was like, who the fuck is that guy and why is he trying to kill this bitch? And then I was just captivated from there. And so that one it's got a little soft spot.
And he apparently can't talk, but he knows how to give an IV and drain somebody completely of their blood.
That bothers me.
Maybe a little.
As somebody that is
still fun.
As somebody that has administered an IV.
Right. It's not hey, somebody told him to drive at Smiths Grove, and somebody taught him how to do an IV at Smiths Grove.
If they're
going to explain that shit away like that, we're going to explain it away. Yeah,
but some of my, just I don't know if you wrote down any honorable mentions.
No, I didn't get to, but I'll probably agree with most of yours.
Just to rail off on something, Evil Dead '81, the original.
Yes, absolutely.
Carrie, the original Carrie, 1976.
Yes,
again another Stephen King film.
Remake was good too.
The remake was fantastic. One of the better remakes, that I've seen. It was great.
But something about what's her name? Sissy Spacek.
Yeah.
Fuck, like she owns that role. Yeah.
The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974.
Yes.
Okay. John Carpenter's Halloween, 78. The Blair Witch Project from 99. Alien, 79. Which is a movie that I was kind of surprised not to see on your top 10.
Because you know how
I know how you are with that. All right, and now the movie 2008's Grave Mistake. I highly doubt you've seen it because 99% of Americans have never seen this movie. So somebody filming this movie figured out how to film like through a body part.
Through a body part?
Bam, shot in the head. Oh, now we can go through the head to the person.
Oh, like the Texas Chainsaw remake where it
yeah.
Great stuff.
It is way overused. All the acting is shitty. The CGI is shitty. The whole storyline is shitty. The only thing it needed was ninjas and velociraptors and a priest to just completely fucking ruin it.
That would have took it over the edge.
It would. I probably would have enjoyed it that much better. But it's so... Everything about it is god awful, and I fucking love it for it. Dude, it is the shit. It's not even a B movie. It's like a D- movie.
Right.
And I love it.
Welcome to the segment we like to call Bitch and Moan,
where we like to bitch about things in horror movies that we find appalling. For example, the shark in Jaws 4, roaring like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Or the overuse of horrible fucking CGI in the prequel to The Thing, 2011.
The shitty CGI in Mama, which ruined the entire movie.
The Happening. Awesome premise. Horrible execution and acting. Fuck you, M. Night.
The Void, in its entirety, makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Every Blade movie after the first. Fucking Ryan Reynolds couldn't save the third one. All right?
Like, what's up with the Squid Game Clans members outside the fucking hospital they're trapped in?
Friday the 13th remake does not get as much love as it deserves. Y'all get off your fucking high horses and enjoy that movie for what it is. Solid gold.
How does Rotten Tomatoes give it 78%? You guys are fucking stupid. And like, what's with the weird man-bear pig thing at the end? Then all of a sudden there's a void? What's with all the fucking witchcraft happening inside that fucking hospital?
Every copy of Seed of Chucky should be buried and forgotten for the rest of all time.
Nothing makes sense. The whole fucking movie.
Jesus Christ, we get it. You don't like it. Like it. It's like something else. Something else to bitch and moan about, for the love of God.
Pineapple doesn't go on fucking pizza.
Son of a bitch! Good shit. I love both of our top 10 lists.
I do too.
We need some more Troma in our list, man. Fucking Toxic Crusader and or the Toxic Avenger. Toxic Crusader was the fucking cartoon that came out. Sorry.
I want like Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. Like, it's so terrible that it's good.
We're gonna get into some of that stuff. There's this great video rental place you got to check out.
That's right, the Killer Beehive.
Killer Beehive video rental. You got to check it out. They're gonna put you right on the good B movies. All right,
fantastic.
Check in with them whenever you can. But I think that's all for this time, right?
I think so too.
All right. If you actually fucking join us and you stuck around, God bless you. Yeah,
because this was just one train wreck followed by a dumpster fire.
But hopefully it was like a train wreck and you couldn't stop watching. I got to go take a dump.
Yeah, I'll join you.
Sweet. I'll let you go first.
You bowl,
right.
I'll tank.
There you go. Upper decker and then we're going to dry dock. Turn the water off and dry dock. All right. We're going to use a public restroom and fuck that shit up.
Until next week, guys.
Until next week. Thank you very much. Peace.